العظيم هذا الفرقان المدني يا سيدي يا مولانا الشيخ الشرباني من زمان ومشفى Alhamdulillah, 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 asking always to be nothing and that Allah will grant us from His oceans of mercy and abdul ajis, da'if, from miskeen, zalim, jahal, and that never claiming to be anything, and that Alhamdulillah for the great light of Allah that shines upon Prophet shines upon awliyaullah, that shines upon our beloved guide Mawlana Shaykh that is like a sun. As much as we stare into his reality, alhamdulillah, lights emitting and blessings shining. If you find anything good, it is from his lights. Anything bad is from our own ignorance, and that we pray for Allah's forgiveness. From Atiullah, Atiul, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Atiullah, Atiya Rasul, Ulul Amri Minkum, from Mawlana Shaykh's teaching, that so many people are asking about energy and asking about difficulty and asking about, Shaykh, how do we protect ourselves and how do we take away negativity and how do we increase our positivity. And alhamdulillah, Allah through His beloved Sayyidina Muhammad gave us everything. It's a matter of whether we want to keep it and what we want to incorporate in our lives for it. That is its secret. It means the Sunnah of Sayyidina Muhammad is about energy. It's a tremendous protection and a tremendous source of realities for us. Prophet brings it like every secret that if you follow by love, and as you follow by love, later pious people come into our lives and begin to teach its reality. That if you are following the way of Prophet it is completely about energy. It's completely about how to bring that divine light and that divine qudra upon the soul. At the same time, the energy that you're building, Prophet wants for us to keep it. It's one thing to build the energy and completely leak everything out. You always find yourself going 2 steps forward and 3, 4, 5 steps backward. Anybody who does construction or home maintenance knows a slow leak can destroy the entire house, the whole structure. If it's a big problem, you can immediately see, oh look, there's a hole, I can see the big problem. It's the leaks that destroy, because you don't see it until it's damaged to everything. It means the leaks in our life is our movement away from the Sunnah of Prophet. So people think maybe it's a fashion statement and maybe I can do it, maybe I don't have to do it. It's not about that at all. We start from the beginning and the top, that what Prophet wanted for us is that your head is the crown of creation, and what Allah is bestowing upon of energies and realities, your surah and your face is inheriting from the Divinely face. Means in battle, don't keep cracking shit. In battle there's no permission to touch the face, it's inheritance from Allah. Means the face, wajhallah, the Divinely face dresses the face. So it means the crown of creation is the head. If we understand the grace and the majesty which Allah gave to the head, then you understand why Prophet brought and said that put the crown upon your head. The crown of the believer is the turban, and this turban, as soon as you wear the turban in salah, for anybody who wants to increase their blessings to understand, as soon as you put the turban and you pray at home or pray anywhere you go with the turban, it's 27 times more than if you prayed without it. And the reward of every time you revive a sunnah of Sayyidina Muhammad, you get the ajr, the reward of 70 martyrs. Even one martyr is enough for someone's soul. How Allah loves Prophet that don't let the sunnah of Prophet to vanish. So by reviving it in every generation, reviving it in our homes, reviving it in our lives, Allah multiplying everything we do. So one, building of energy, 27 times your prayers by wearing your turban. The turban signifies a state of death for the believer. This is like your tombstone. The cap that's going upon the turban, same is for the hijab. It doesn't matter whether it's for the man or for the woman. that all Allah wants is guard your head. There's an opening on the crown of your head that you feel when the children are born, the softness. This is a tremendous opening for the soul. As soon as you're building lights, what shaitan wants is to take your head. He makes it to be unpopular so that you feel, oh it's not going to be very stylish and I'm not going to look so handsome if I have to walk around like that. Or fear, which is the opposite of faith. Oh, if I fear they're going to beat me up if I wear my hat. What fear? Everybody in the world is wearing a turban. You go to the airport, everybody's in a turban. The Minister of Defense is in a turban. Who's going to say anything? They have their pride of the sunnah that they carry. We should have even more pride for what Prophet has given to us. That shaitan wants to make it from fear, don't keep the sunnah. But why he wants it is so that you lose all your energy and that he can keep attacking the head. Means the majesty is as soon as you cover your head, you wear your hat or you wear your turban, that point of energy is covered. And increasing the humility of the believer, that constantly feeling like the hand of Allah upon their head. They feel a state of humility, Ya Rabbi, that by that hat upon my head I'm nothing. And then everything from the top of the head, Prophet wrote, it was of such an importance when Prophet ordered the shaving of the hair, that as soon as you complete the Hajj, shave your head. The Sahabi waited and they clipped their hair. Prophet was offended and went back home and they described it. They said, Ya Rasulullah, if you really want them to shave your head, shave your head first. And Prophet came out, shaved his head, and all the companions immediately shaved their head. They understood the azimat, the stronger is the shaved head, because the hair increases the feminine energy for men. Women is the opposite. The length of the hair for the women is an honor for her, that the first one to be buried is going to be based. If two women die, what's her honor is the length of her hair. But that's not the truth for men, it's the opposite. The length of his hair increases his feminine energy. So what gives his azimat, gives his strength, is the shaving of his hair, and to take away the animal kingdom's pride. We are the reverse of the animal kingdom. So when you look at the animal kingdom, the male in the animal kingdom have big hair, they have big feathers to attract women, to attract their mate. Prophet doesn't want that for us. Your look is not to attract anyone unless you're not yet married and you have to get married, and then you have to be attractive. Once you're married and that's finished, it's no longer about attractive. This is about rijalullah and how discipline against yourself and taking away of that negative energy. So as soon as you begin to shave, you realize that this bald head has to be covered. There's nothing on top of it. You put your cover, it's an energy source. As soon as you wrap your turban, if you can't wear it for work but you go home, you put a turban to make your salah, it's a reminder for you, this like my tombstone and this like my kafan. That Ya Rabbi, at any moment if I die, remember before when Sahabi and companions and great followers were going through the desert, there was no ambulance to call. If somebody died, there's no mortuary to call. Your friends make a janazah right there, they take your turban off, wrap it as your kafan, bury you, take your shoes and go. Because you don't take the person with the shoes. But it's a reminder always when you're walking and moving that death is with you. That death is not far from you. Hey Ya Rabbi, I'm going to pass away one day and this is going to be my kafan. That's why you don't take it into the bathroom. You don't take holy things into the toilet. That's why then you take it off, put it aside, and then you go in for wudu. When you're going in for wudu, you have to go with your head covered. The whole concept of the head and all of what we're going to be talking about of the sunnah is a shield of armor for the believer. The headquarters for shaitan is the toilet. So as soon as you're going in, you're going into a battle zone with shaitan. So it means you have to have your head covered and protect yourself within that environment. As soon as you go and shave the head, bring the energy, you realize that the energy of the face is going to be granting with the beard. So the beard is not something that you grow just to scare people. But some people just look very scary with their beards because they have an angry look, but there's a holiness with the hair. When it begins to grow, it begins to protect these different lataif of the throat and of the body. It means that everything Prophet brought for us was a protection, to build our energy, to protect our energy. So biggest protection is the covering of the head. And alhamdulillah, what we started with the greatness of Mawlana Shaykh Hisham is that like a sun, that when you look at the kamil shaykhs, the perfected shaykhs, because we are not kamil, but we follow perfected shaykhs, and as a result we never saw them without their turban in an official capacity. Means they represent the office of Sayyidina Muhammad complete, because of the respect for the position, not for being proud and arrogant, but the position that it represents the majesty of Sayyidina Muhammad means that every official capacity wore the turban and the crown for the believer to hold the majesty of the sunnah of Prophet. In our lives we never saw him without his head covered. If he didn't have his turban, he had his head always covered. We never saw him taking pictures and vacationing with no head cover and long wavy hair and putting dark sunglasses. These were from the bad characteristics and lack of perfection. Why they're saying it is not to be judging people, but because people are looking at the imams and then copying. When they copy incorrect, they have difficulties in life. When they look and they see the imam has no head cover, that he's going out amongst people, he's going and dealing with people, okay, you don't have to wear head cover too, and before you know it you're in difficulty. But what we saw from perfected shaykhs, they never left their head cover. It wasn't they put the responsibility on women that, oh no, you have to be head cover, I go looking like I'm very sexy and handsome man. You keep the responsibility, you hold the flag of Islam in your family, you don't give it to your wife to hold. It means you carry the responsibility, you carry the sunnah. If she wants to, alhamdulillah, she come along. But now everybody gives the flag to their wives and they do as they like. You go down on Robson Street or any popular street anywhere and you see all these guys dressing however they want, and they have a lady behind them in full niqab and no head cover. They're wearing shorts, they're wearing the latest glasses, big gold watch. It's not the sunnah of Prophet. So when we copy that way, you get thousands of emails, I have a difficulty, I have sickness, I have every type of difficulty and energy coming to me. How Allah is going to grant us khair and goodness if we are not upholding the way of Prophet until we understood? We do it out of love to keep the respect of Prophet. Later we find out, oh my God, this was a tremendous protection. As soon as I shave my hair, I take that energy. As soon as I cover my head with my hat, I have a protection upon my head. As soon as I come down to my body and I wear clothes of modesty, I begin to understand Prophet was insulating us like a wire. That this energy you're going to build inside yourself, shayateen and hasad and bad eyes of people, they can take and pull the energy off of you. So any energy you're trying to build within yourself, as soon as you expose your body parts, people look and say, oh, what? They're pulling the energy. Means somebody's nazar, when they see your flesh and they see your skin, they want, they don't want, their eyes are pulling an energy and sending a negative energy to the body. So it means there was a secret in the dress of modesty, that it was an insulation, there was a protection for the body, that whatever energy we're going to be building, it has to be protected within inside, so that you have this energy to be using for your salah, using for your worshipness. As soon as you come to the hand, you realize that all of these sunnahs, they were granted from Prophet to all the Prophets, because the one and true messenger of Allah is Sayyidina Muhammad. So when Sayyidina Musa has a asa, it's a gift from Prophet. When Sayyidina Sulaiman has the ring of power, it's a gift from Sayyidina Muhammad. It means the real inheritance is always to Prophet. Prophet then gave that out. And so what he gave to his nation is that you can inherit. That's why the ulama are inheritors of the Prophets of Bani Israel. You can inherit everything that I gave to those nations by keeping my sunnah. So when you come to the ring and you come to the majesty of the hands, this ring is on the right hand, not the left hand. The left hand is for cleaning yourself. The ring is an allegiance to Prophet. When you wear your ring on your right finger, these hands represent your way and your allegiance to Allah, that my bay'ah with Allah, my bay'ah to Prophet and to the ulul am. That your small finger has to do with the secret of Sayyidina Uthman. Your ring finger has to do with Sayyidina Umar al-Faruq qaddasallahu siru. Your biggest finger has to do with the secret of Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Your index finger, shahada finger, has to do with the secret of Sayyidina Ali alayhi salam. And your thumb, which is like a finger but it is completely different, has to do with Sayyidina Muhammad. That your identity and your secret, when you understand the thumb, that Allah says, I've given everybody a unique print upon their thumb. Your unique identity is upon your thumb.
Sidana Nabi, Sidana Nabi, Sidana Nabi, Sidana Nabi.